Hello and welcome to my channel. So if you've been here before, welcome back. And if not, then just welcome. I really hope that you enjoy this reading today. Um, and also just welcome in general because if you found my channel and you want a cozy, homey kind of space to feel like you belong, this is my whole intention for this channel because I don't care who you worship, I don't care what you believe in, I don't care if you're here just out of curiosity to see how a tarot reading is and do you resonate with it and stuff like that, to just kind of get the feel of it. It doesn't matter why you're here. Maybe you're even here to just find some kind of positivity to kind of help lift your spirits a little bit, okay? It doesn't matter why you're here. I'm just glad you're here and know that you are welcome. And I wanted to provide a update on my channel for those who have subscribed. But I also want to give you guys a big thank you. If you are not subscribed, thank you for watching. If you feel like subscribing, please do. If you feel like leaving a like or a comment, please do. But I just want to, again, say just a big thank you for those who have subscribed, for those who have left a like, for those who have left a comment, not just here on YouTube, but also on my other platforms that you can also find in the description below for TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. It really means so much to me, and it is really allowed me to tap into this energy and this idea that I've had for a while. And I don't want to go into too much detail about it because I'm still working out the kinks and trying to figure things out. But I'm really ready to take this channel to the next level. And I wasn't really going to announce that yet, but the moment I sat down to do this video, I felt the need to say that. I really felt the need to say that, and I'm excited to announce it, but yeah, I just kind of want to wait until I get all the pieces together. And I do plan to hopefully, fingers crossed, announce this month. Announce all my plans this month. Well, maybe not all the plans, but at least the start of a plan this month. If not, then I do see maybe next month doing it. But yeah, I just want to say, I'm planning something big and I'm excited to share it, and I should hopefully be sharing more of what that is very soon. Um, but I mostly wanted to come in here, just give that quick little update, and just give you a big thank you because this has really helped me. All of your kind words, your subscriptions, your likes, your follows have really helped me feel ready to pursue something and really help me be like, this channel deserves so much love with again, the coziness, the homey vibe, the welcoming vibe, and I just really want to share that with people, and yeah, and just give people a space that they feel like they can belong in. And I want to keep that going, and I want to build it, and I want to build that in so many ways. um and so yeah, I just really hope I can share more of that soon, but also yeah, just a big thank you. But yeah, if you have not been to my channel before and you'd like to subscribe, I'm more than grateful for you to. And just to give you kind of a little bit of a rundown of what I do on my channel, obviously I do tarot readings, I do oracle readings. Um, on Sundays and Saturdays, I kind of post whatever I feel like is needed to be said, however Spirit wants to deliver the message. But also on the rest of the week, it's more of actual tarot, like keeping up with the tarot readings and oracle readings, where 3 days out of that time I am doing a zodiac reading for whatever zodiac wants to come through at that time. And then Tuesdays, there's Tarot Tuesday, and then Thursdays, there's there Tarot Thursday. And that those 2 days are more of like a general full-on collective reading. So that's typically how my channel runs. Um, and then I also do my shorts on the side for all of my platforms. Um, but yeah, so today, after just saying the big thank you and giving you that little bit of an update for something to come for my channel, I want to do an oracle reading for you. Now, unfortunately, I did record this kind of video already. I didn't know that until I was doing a zodiac reading, that my audio was not working. So I have already done the oracle reading for this video, but I felt like I wanted to keep that reading. I don't want to do a whole new reading because it was very important that that particular reading came through. And as I did the reading, I realized that it was also tied in and why I was feeling so excited to share with you guys, even though I wasn't planning on sharing it yet, but sharing with you guys about something that I'm planning for my channel because that really did tie into the reading. And I was kind of giving my own personal experiences, not in full detail because I don't want to give a ton of my personal life on, the internet, but I was at least giving a little bit to feel like that, I can relate to what you may be feeling at this time. So I did pull out the cards that were in that reading. I believe I got all of them, but we're going to go one by one, kind of like how that reading went. I'm just not going to be shuffling, okay? So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I still got that reading out to you guys, and I'm sorry that I'm not shuffling on camera. I actually like shuffling on camera, but it's just not how it went. So, we're just going to go through this deck and I'm going to show you what came out and we're going to just treat this like a normal oracle reading without the shuffling. So what had first come through was the waxing quarter moon mother. And I really tapped into this energy. For one thing, this is not going to be for everybody, but somebody here may be expecting. They may be pregnant. They may be wanting to get pregnant. Now, I feel like if that is a big want, not even just pregnancy, but like maybe even adopting, know that that energy is there for you and it is trying to come in. If you are expecting, then know that this is just talking about a new beginning as a parent, but this is also talking about a new beginning in general for this collective. And I also get a strong sense of stability coming in for this collective and a sense of emotional fulfillment. And then we had the lily pop up again, talking about new beginnings coming through, something well established, something developing over time, but longevity really came through strongly on this card, where I feel like this new beginning, whatever is coming in, is really going to last. This fulfillment is going to last. The stability is going to last. Not to say that there aren't going to be bumps along the way, or even bumps afterwards, just because that's just how life works. But I do get a sense of longevity with this, and possibly even a sense of like whatever this energy is, it's going to be carried through lifetimes and generations. And then again, a strong sense of fulfillment coming through as well. Now, we did have the snake card pop out, and this energy is something I feel like you are leaving behind. This is something that has led you to this point, and there could be somebody bringing in a sense of deception towards you, jealousy, backstabbing, betrayal, some form of toxic energy. Maybe somebody even gave you a silent treatment. They kind of ghosted you. Whatever this is, however this resonates for you, doesn't really matter. It's just there's this negative energy that led you here to this moment. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, because I do kind of believe there are things in this world that do happen for a reason. Sometimes things just happen, but like, I feel like this is the kind of energy that maybe you're not necessarily looking at it like this now, but maybe you'll months from now can look back and see it this way, maybe even years from now, that you go, oh, had that not happened, even though it was really bad in the moment and that wasn't okay, had it not happened, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, or I wouldn't be the person I am now. So, in a way, this has led you in the right direction. Even though, again, it was bad, you had this tower moment and it really shook you up. It shook a lot of things up, but it's leading you on a much better path towards where you're meant to be. Okay, and then we have diamond ring popping out. So this could be a new beginning where you are getting engaged, you are getting married, some form of partnership. But I did get a strong sense of like somebody here wanting to pop the question. You want to get to that next level with somebody else. So this is encouragement to move forward with that. But regardless whether you want to pop the question or not, this is just an energy of reaching the next level in your life. It could be the next level in your career. It's just the next level in this new beginning, this new chapter, okay? And then we have road popping out here. So there's a crossroads. There are a lot of decisions, there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of choices, weighing the options, but you also have this sense of free will. And so this is kind of when I started tapping into my own personal recent experience, because I've been going through a lot. So, like, if you're somebody going through a lot, I'm right there with you. Okay, this is a collective really tapping into a similar energy that I've been experiencing. So, I with this big thing that I've been wanting to announce, okay, and I'm working towards this. I had a meeting recently about it. Now, I could have decided not to go to that meeting. So that if I did that, where would that have led me? Would I have gone on a detour and then eventually found my way back to it? Or would I have missed that opportunity and been led somewhere else? There's so many different ways that could have unfolded, but I chose to go. And now it's leading me on this path. So that's kind of how I'd like you to view that free will, because it's not just like, oh, you're being forced to go to this meeting. No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's presented to you as an option, as a possibility. Are you going to take it? Or are you not? Well, then, if you don't, now the universe has to kind of work out a different way to lead you down where you need to be, where your purpose is. And so then it has to find a different way down this other path. But like I said, I chose to go. So now I'm going down this path. So, yeah, that's part of the free will. And that's what spirit wants to talk to you about. Like, again, you're not being forced into anything. It's just leading you towards your purpose. But are you going to take that choice, take that opportunity? Or are you going to take this other path? Okay, so there's a lot of decisions to make. And then we also had forked road pop out, and that just goes along with this crossroads card. Um, and so, yeah, definitely very, very heavy on the free will, but also on the opportunities and the choices. I'm so sorry if you hear barking in the background. Um, but yeah, basically what this is symbolizing is that this is a big turning point in your life. I do feel like this is a collective that is choosing to take that free will opportunity to go to that meeting. Okay, whether you have, excuse me, whether you have a meeting or not. I'm just using my experience as an example. But I feel like you are choosing to proceed with that opportunity. And so this is a big turning point for you. Now, I do have I do want to say that if you are somebody who is still really having a hard time with those decisions because maybe there's still so much of this toxic negative energy around you, please find a way to step away from that. Find a way to step away from that and clear your mind. It can be as simple as like, because where I'm living, it is springtime now, and this springtime energy is also symbolizing new beginnings, but it's warming up. Please go outside, take a walk. You have a walking trail nearby, go take a walk on the walking trail. Um, I was also talking about it that like I kind of envisioned the town that's nearby me, and not that everybody here lives in the same town, but just like I imagined this little waterfall area that has a deck area that you can sit at and just like listen to the water, so something like that. If you have something like that around you, getting connected with nature, if you feel called to do so, maybe going to the library where it's quiet, you can kind of just like hide yourself in a corner with a good book. Nobody's really going to bother you, okay? Because everybody's kind of there to do the same thing, find a book that they want to read and just mind their own business. I also felt like I wanted to say if you felt so overwhelmed by so many things that giving yourself leisure time, giving yourself some kind of like pleasure, please go do that because that's also going to help clear your mind. And that's kind of like if you feel like going to go see a movie, even if it's by yourself, go do that because that's going to help clear your mind. Okay, it's going to help take you out of this toxic moment for a while, this negative moment for a while, just an hour or two. And that's going to really help you move forward. Yes, and then I was also talking about like how this energy may be overwhelming right now because it's leading you towards your purpose. Because it's leading you where you need to be. Again, I'm so sorry about the barking. Um, but like, yeah, it's leading you where you need to be. And when we get closer to that turning point, because it's such a big energy, that's kind of when we start to go, oh my God, is it really going to happen? We start doubting. We start questioning if we should really be doing this or not. And the thing is like you're getting so close to that exit. You're getting so close to that exit. And I used a thing that I have heard somebody say as an example. And I've used this in the past before, where it's kind of like you've got two people. I want to say like one is you, one is somebody else. Both of you are in this tunnel, digging through this tunnel. Now, both of you are getting closer to that exit. You just can't see it because you're digging through it. You're both getting closer to that exit, but this other person decides, this is just too much, I'm done, I give up. Not knowing that they were close to that exit, you decided that you were going to keep pushing forward. And so you did, and you found that exit. Even though you were tired, even though you were overwhelmed, even though you question, how much more can I do? You found it. Okay, because you pushed through, because you listened to your gut feeling, that this was the right thing to do. Okay. So that was just an example. And this is where that is all leading you to. So, like, if you feel like you want to give up, don't, because you're almost there. But I feel like this is a collective, for the most part, who have reached something, reached this turning point, and you're starting to see things line up. It may not be lining up fully, like it's not quite complete yet, but it's on its way. Like you're starting to see it unfold, and you're just like, oh my God, this is really happening. Because you trusted yourself and you trusted the universe. If it's not exactly that way for you right now, please, please just trust it. Just trust yourself and trust the universe that you will get there. Okay. So, next thing we had was the checkered flag, and this is talking about completion. This is talking about accomplishments. This is where you are heading towards. You are heading towards this outcome, this completion, this final chapter. Okay. Final chapter for all of the bad stuff. Okay, all of that is ending. All of the hardship that you have been through, all of the stuff you've been working towards so hard and not seeing it completed. This is the time where that's finally going to start being completed. And you're going to have this new beginning. I did also talk about how we are in a new season right now. So we're not just in spring, where this is symbolizing new beginnings, but we're also in Aries season. And this is the beginning of Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. So we are in a new zodiac year. So again, new beginning. We are also in the year of the fire horse that started mid-February. Everybody is tapping into this energy. Now, things may not be completed for everybody at the same time, okay? But like it's going to happen for everybody when it's meant to happen. But I do really feel like this is a collective that is really tapping into that momentum of the fire horse energy. Things are starting to get done. Things are really leading you towards your goals and your accomplishments, your successes. Okay, so things are really going to start picking up, and maybe you're starting to feel that energy pick up. Like things are just kind of happening. So much is happening, and we're just trying to keep up with it. So that could also be part of the overwhelm. I do encourage you to pull back a little bit. Okay, we don't need to be running around everywhere all the time. You're going to burn yourself out. So allow yourself a balance of rest, playfulness, and hard work. Okay, because if we allow rest and play to come in, that's really going to help us focus a lot better when we are really working towards our future. Okay, our new beginning here, and really in this energy. And that's what leads me into talking about the childhood card here. We need to bring playfulness in. Okay, we need to bring playfulness in, something even from your childhood, possibly, that you've always wanted to go back to, or something that you used to enjoy that you just don't do anymore. Maybe even people have judged you on it, and, because they're just like, well, that's kind of childish. And it's just like, it doesn't really matter, like, but it makes you happy. I kind of also talked about like an example of pulling out a board game. And maybe you decide to introduce this board game to your friends, and your friends are like, I don't know, because they're a little awkward about it, because this is touching into their own issues where they're not allowing their inner child to play too. But you're like, no, come on, it's gonna be fun. We deserve this, let's just have some fun. And so they're like, okay, and it's kind of awkward in the beginning as everybody is setting up and starting the game, but then people start to get into it. So now you're not only helping your inner child, but you're also helping other people's inner childs as well. And now you're all kind of in this playful energy together and living a better and happier moment that the next day you're going to feel so much better, so much lighter. Okay. So that's kind of been a theme with this reading where it's leaving the heaviness behind and we're tapping into this lighter, playful, happy energy that's going to allow us to really bring in this completion and start this new beginning. We have crew popping out here as well. I did feel like there was an energy here where somebody was co-creating with people. This could be with one other person, this could be with a group of people, this could be a project. Um, but I do feel a sense of like working together as a community. This could also be working together as a community just in the collective, like this collective energy. We're all tapping into this energy, and it kind of feels like this energy is moving for everybody. So when you're moving, this is also helping others move as well. Okay, does that make sense? So it's a team effort, but this could also just be like literally you working as a team with people to create something. Okay. And then with ballet shoes, I was really focused on the stamina and endurance on this card. And this is where I was talking about needing that balance with the playfulness, rest, and hard work. Because if we allow ourselves to rest and play, then that allows us to have the stamina and endurance that we need to keep going. Okay, it's also it's a balancing act, yeah. And then we have roadblock popping up here. So I found this very fitting with the two road cards here, the crossroads and the forked road. I feel like you've experienced many, many roadblocks along your way, along your life, especially within possibly these past few years. Things just not quite working out. And maybe you're still experiencing some roadblocks. And I mentioned that I'm also still experiencing some roadblocks. But I'm in this energy where I'm like, yeah, that roadblock is a bit of a bummer, but I'm not like letting it bother me. It just doesn't sit the same way. It doesn't affect me the same way. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is just a temporary setback. I will get there when I get there. There's like this one thing that hasn't quite clicked into place yet. I see other things like starting to kind of click, but there's this one thing that I'm like, I really need that to click, but it's kind of hesitating. And so, yeah, I'm not worried about it too much, but like it's one of those things where I'm like viewing this as it's going to click when it's meant to. Because I feel like there's other things that need to click first before that one clicks, if that makes sense. So that's a good way of like trying to view, trying to perceive when a roadblock happens. Um, that it's just not meant to happen yet, but it will because we need other things to happen first. So it's a temporary setback. It's not a permanent setback, it's a temporary setback. It may feel a little frustrating and maybe it doesn't really help that overwhelm, but if we're in this place where we're like, you know what, we're starting to see things unfold and we're excited to really step into it, these roadblocks, these little things that we're just like, ah, that's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's okay because this other stuff's working out. We just focus on what's working out. We're going to feel a lot better. The temporary setbacks aren't going to really hit as hard. And yeah, it's a not right now, but it will be. It will happen. It's not going to be stuck forever. Okay. You also may feel like you are being held back. You are being, um, or you're feeling powerless. You are feeling like a little bit, you're feeling cuffed, you're feeling tied down. But the one thing that I usually say about this card when it pops up in a reading is that when you look at this image, only one cuff is closed. Okay, so you are not fully tied down. It feels that way, and anxiety wants to tell you that too, but you're not. Okay, because bad, anything negative cannot last forever. At some point, something positive has to come through. And so you're not completely tied down. You will find a way and you will realize that you're not completely tied down and find a way to unlock that other cuff and be fully free. Okay, so do not worry. You are not going to be stuck like this forever because you do have blessings coming through with this ladybug. Okay, you have wishes coming true. You have this abundant, free life, this vibrant life coming through. This is what is meant for you. And then we were also talking about the possibility of somebody being pregnant. We did have birth of a daughter on the bottom of this card. So I don't really, and like maybe you are gonna have a daughter, but I kind of get the sense of more of like bringing somebody into this world who may be tapped more into this feminine energy that is more like caring and softer, the softer energy, because we do live in a very masculine energy world. Everything is like fast and action oriented, and it needs to calm down. We need to have a little bit more of a balance. So I do feel like, because I've heard others talk about this too, of bringing more of a feminine energy into this world, um, more of a softer energy into this world, because this is what the world needs. We need to kind of calm down. And I kind of have been seeing others, even like online and people around me, just being like, I'm just so done working for so many things, draining my energy, and nothing coming out of it. I really need to step back and take some self care. So we're having more of this energy, more of people wanting to tap in to really focus on their self care and their inner self. We're really going inward now as a collective. So I kind of feel like, you know, you may be birthing somebody who is more into that kind of energy. But I also just really feel like this is a new beginning, a new birthing energy for a collective that definitely is just so tired of draining themselves, right? So your wish to stop draining yourself is coming through. That is definitely coming through. We have Uranus, ruler of enlightenment. This card is tied to the Fool card in tarot. And so we're talking about blissfulness, new beginnings, happiness, and a free spirit. This card is also talking about opportunities. This is bracing the unknown. So, like, if you are uncertain of some things still and how they're going to unfold, it's not worrying you so much. Instead, you're embracing the unknown and just being like, you know what? It'll clear up when it's meant to clear up. It's going to happen. And that's where the trust in the universe and the trust in yourself really comes through. You're just jumping in and doing it, not necessarily recklessly. It's not like you're not thinking things through, but you're ready to jump into this new energy and just ride the waves. Like you're just riding it along and you're just kind of like, let's just see where it goes. This is also an energy tapping into their originality and individuality. And then I also felt like something with technology coming through. So maybe there's new news that's going to come through with like a sense of technology, like through an email, phone call, virtual meeting, something like that. Maybe you work in technology, but yeah, something along those lines. And then with Mercury popping out here, this is also talking about technology too. It's also tied to the Magician card, so I kind of feel like you have been taking everything that you have learned and bringing it into this new beginning. And so it's kind of like you becoming a master of your goals and your wishes, your dreams, okay? Taking inspired action. This is also a very strong manifester card, so you manifesting things. You really honing in on your ideas and your thought processes, which is why it's very important for you to do something that's going to help clear your mind, because we need to allow these ideas and thoughts to be clear and help bring in this manifesting energy. Um, and also resourcefulness coming through, finding the right resources to help you out. We have the moon card popping out here. So this is another thing dealing with the mind, but the subconscious mind. So this is again talking about like going inward and having this inner knowing, trusting your intuition, listening to your gut feeling, and going through what feels right. Not just what you know is right, but what you feel is right. So really listening to your intuition. This is tied to the High Priestess card, which also talks about your intuition and your inner knowing. I feel like you may, or somebody here, really tapping into their higher self and getting answers from their higher selves. Your dreams are very strong at this time with delivering messages. But also this is just you fulfilling dreams. We also have between inner and outer worlds. And so this makes me feel like a balance between your inner world and the outer world around you. And then I remember talking about guarding secrets. So this doesn't necessarily have to be for everybody, but I do feel like if you have so much of this like negative toxic energy around you from other people, do not just like say certain things out loud, say your goals out loud, because I feel like if you were to do that, if you were to project that, it's kind of like this toxic energy wanting to feed off of that good energy. Okay, so sometimes keeping things to yourself is the best way to go. Again, this is not for everybody, but if that resonates with you, that is just encouragement from spirit to protect what it is that you are trying to manifest for yourself, what it is that you're trying to bring in. Okay. All right. So we then have Libra popping out here. You could be a Libra. This is also tied to Venus, so this is talking about love, um, which we were talking about earlier. This is also tied to justice, so we do have a sense of harmony and balance coming through, but if there's also a sense of justice that you want to be bringing in and manifesting, that is coming through. There is also an artistic vibe coming through, and there's also like maybe some of your roadblocks are being blocked because there are certain people around you not being direct with you. But I also feel a sense of like there could be some people watching where your manifestations aren't really as direct. And so spirit is just kind of like, we're a little indirect with that. Let's kind of find the core of our manifestation. And that's going to help us really stay grounded and figure out where to start, because maybe some of our dreams are a little too big and you're kind of expecting all of it to come in at once. But if it doesn't really have anywhere to go right now, it's not really going to come in the way that you want it to. So how can we ground it and have more of a direct approach? Okay, so like for me, for example, with what I'm trying to bring in, I have a ton of ideas, but I'm not going to be able to do all of those ideas right now. So, where is my main focus and where can I start? And then later on down the line, then I can start bringing in those other ideas. Okay, so that's an example. We also have Virgo coming through. So, you could be a Virgo. You could also be an earth sign or another air sign. So, with the other air signs, other than Libra, there's Gemini and Aquarius. And then earth signs that aren't just Virgo, we have Taurus and Capricorn. Virgo here is tied with Mercury, so that's more about the technology and mental ideas. We're very analytical at this time, hardworking, um, critical thinking, also hearing be very critical of your choices and your decisions and what you're manifesting. Okay. So then that way we have a more direct approach. This is also tied to the Hermit card. So you may be somebody who has kind of been in the cave for a little bit. You've kind of been hidden for a little bit. Now it's time to come out of that cave and begin your search, begin your journey. Okay. We've done the inner work, or we maybe still need to do some inner work. Um, but I do feel more like this is an approach to now we need to face the outer world and find that balance. Okay. Sagittarius also coming through. And so if you are a Sagittarius, maybe you're another fire sign, we have Aries and Leo. Um, that's really all coming through very strongly right now. But to be honest with you, I don't really think it matters what kind of sign you are. This energy is for everybody. But this is just maybe part of like who all is mainly watching this reading right now, or you have very strong placements of these signs in your chart somewhere. But this card is tied with Jupiter, which is really all about expansion. So you have this expansive energy coming through, something that's going to lead you to be more optimistic and enthusiastic, something tied into your independence and having this adventure, enjoying this journey. Okay. I do get a sense of like maybe some of you being a little irresponsible with your energy and your time, and we need to find this balance with the responsible energy because Sagittarius on this card says irresponsible, Virgo says responsible. So we need to figure that out. But the Sagittarius card here is tied to temperance as well, which is talking about balance and harmony. But this temperance is also very much tied to the divine as well. So I really do feel like your spirit team is really trying to help you out here. And I do believe it was for this reading I used this analogy. I've also used this analogy in a past video. Um, where it's kind of like you've been putting in so much hard work laying your dominoes out, and then spirit comes by and helps flick those dominoes, and then it like hits a ball that like goes down a track, and maybe it like hits a button that lowers like toast in a toaster or something like that. Okay, and then it kind of cooks, and then the toast comes out, and now it's complete. So you've done the work, and now the universe is coming through and helping you flick that domino, and you're just going to see all of your manifestations and everything that you've worked so hard for start falling into place to a completion. Okay. So that's all coming through for this collective. But that was all I'm pretty sure that we were talking about for this reading, and I really felt like it was tied to what I was experiencing and what I want to bring into this channel. So I really felt like this was important for me to talk about because I feel like I'm tapping into a collective who is going through something similar. Okay, not you don't have to have a YouTube channel, you don't have to be doing tarot readings like I am, but something in your life that is finally coming in. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at your affirmation card to end this reading on. And you've got, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And so this makes me feel like when we are letting go of that really heavy negative energy that is weighing us down, we start perceiving the world around us in a better light. Like, I'm going to say something that I just experienced just this week. I was walking around town And I really began feeling like I was part of a community. I was part of this little town. That I love this little town. And it really made me feel one with the environment and how I want to contribute to it, and I want to enjoy this lighter energy. I want to be happy. I choose to be happy. I choose to help others. I choose to have a better future. I choose to stay here. You know, I choose to see the good in the world. Despite all of the bad that's happening, I'm choosing to see the good in the world. And so when I'm leaning towards the trust in myself and the trust in the universe, and I really feel like this energy is guiding me to where I'm meant to be, that's when I start to see the world in a different light. And so that's what I'm hoping for you, and that is what Spirit is trying to encourage for you. That is what Spirit is trying to guide you towards. Okay? Not everything is so black, not everything is so dark. There is still light in this world, and there is light in your own personal world as well. Okay? So that is where I want to end this reading on, and that's all Spirit has to say. So thank you so much for coming by and listening to this reading. I really hope it resonated with you. And also thank you again so much for subscribing and liking and commenting and viewing my work. And it's really helped me and lifted me up. And I'm so excited to see where this channel goes now. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. My other links are in the description. But I'm wishing you guys so much positivity. I'm sending you so much love and light and healing and blessings your way. And I'm really wishing you all the best. And so I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.